Unmute.
Yep. All right. Welcome everybody to the Getting Started with N-Vu webinar. My name is Michelle, and I'm the one that has to put up with Dave on the daily.
Hi, my name's Dave, and my job is just to do everything that Michelle tells me to do.
This is true. This is
Very
this
true.
Is very true. Today, you're going to learn about the N-Vu sales workflow, how to create an IPS session and client galleries from a single event, how to use a price list, run an IPS session using dual view, and manage your client choices and ratings.
And as we go along today, we want to welcome you and encourage you to use the chat window. We'll be following that as we go along. Make sure you ask questions as we go along so that we can make sure that you're following us on everything that we do.
Great. Yeah. And so just to make sure that you guys are understanding what we're trying to teach you today, go ahead and log into your N-Vu account if you do have one. If you don't, just go to power.nvu.com, click log in if you have an account. If you're not, go ahead and sign up.
Yeah, right now.
Right now.
Okay. Well, as we start off today, I want to share my screen, and we're going to walk you through a few things that we want to share with you around N-Vu. So I think we're doing okay now. So what we want to start with is the N-Vu and our value proposition. We want to let you know what N-Vu is here for and what is our brand promise to you. So the first thing that we focus on in N-Vu is we want to make sure that you've got a great look. We know as photographers, the look and feel of how your image is presented is very important. So that is a key area of focus for us. Secondly, we've been in a lot of the studios, as Michelle and I have gone around the country and tried to see how you do your work. And one thing we've noticed is that you guys are really, really busy. You do a lot of things. Many of you are a one-person show. And so what we're really focused on is finding ways to simplify your life. And you'll find out as we go through today, you're going to see a lot of tricks that we put into our software to try to make your life a lot easier. And then finally, it really wouldn't make sense to be in business if you weren't making a good, honorable profit. So we try to put in a lot of things into N-Vu to grow your revenue. That's why you'll see something unique around the N-Vu program is you upload one time and you can make money lots of different ways. In fact, 4 different ways. You can make it with in-person sales, client galleries, mobile apps, and also our review program. So that's our value proposition. I'm going to turn over to Michelle now. She want to give you kind of an overview of how our workflow at N-Vu plays out.
Perfect. Thanks, Dave.
You bet.
The initial consultations, this could happen either in person or this could be simply over the phone. So that's kind of the starting point. You then do your session, and then you're going to see here in pink is when N-Vu comes into play. You will upload your event images. And from there, you have the option to set up your IPS session, which seems to be the best practice and where you're going to make the most money.
So I just upload the images once, and then I can do my IPS session from there.
And from there, you have the ratings, the favorites, and the orders from that IPS session. And that leads you into the client gallery, which is the second sale. And then we're going to move into the ratings, favorites, and orders from the client gallery that carry into possibly the mobile app and the review.
Right. And so that's really the high-level workflow as we're trying to maximize the amount of revenue that you can drive for every image you upload with us. With that set of images, you can do all of these things. Now, what you'll notice is a little bit different about N-Vu is that you're not uploading to different platforms to do your in-person sales, to do your client gallery, to do your mobile app. So what I want to do next, before we actually jump in and start having you use the program, is talk to you a little bit about how we've structured the images, because you need to be able to manage the same set of images across these different gallery types. So you see here on the screen, the first thing that you do is you upload your event images, and think of that as a repository or place where all of your event images are. Once you've got those event images there, we can then have those same event images be filtered for your IPS session, your client gallery, and your mobile app. Now, another thing that's important is, and this is a key thing that I really would like for you to write down because you want to make sure you follow along with this, is that the account is going to be related to the email address. So it's really important that you have that email address in there. And to that client's email address, we will link all of the choices that they make, their favorite folders, their ratings, save for later, etc., is all in one. And then, of course, you can also have different categories within there. So the key idea is to do that. All right, so what you've got then is with the whole idea behind event management is that you upload your images once and you can create these different filters. What I want to draw your eye to is on the left-hand side, you'll see that you've got the in the gray bar here, and that's where you can actually see and filter by email address to see what they're actually doing. All right. So I'm hearing, are they not seeing that main
They're
screen?
just seeing the smaller version.
Okay, all right. So
So
we'll work on our share screen going ahead. All right, so that was basically your setup for your key ideas on how you do your image management. And we'll talk more about that as we go through. All right. So I think what we want to do now, Michelle, is do an overview of the administrative panel. So let me share a different screen here and make sure we get this right. And I think we're going to look at the administrative area. So do I want to share this right here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And let me make sure that we've got this.
While Dave's pulling that up,
There
does
we go.
anybody have any questions kind of about how N-Vu works within the overview of the process?
No.
Doesn't look like it.
All right. Well, let's do an overview now of the of the main administrative areas. So I'm going to go back here to the home page, and this is what you'll see after you log in. Okay, so we're not sharing the right screen?
No.
Okay, let me let's see what we can do here. Bear with us just a moment here.
Yeah, I think you need to pull that over there. There we go.
Okay.
Yep, that's right.
We're sharing the right screen now? Okay, good. Sorry about that. All right, so this is the administrative area. So Michelle, if you'd walk us through the admin area.
Yeah. So I just want to talk about a few of the titles and things that you're seeing here to help you along your way within the admin area. So up here, you have 3 titles: the products, the galleries, and the order. You'll spend a lot of time here, and there's several different ways that you can get to that. But I want to click on products here. This is where you're going to find all of the products that N-Vu offers that are printed through H&H Color Lab. And if you look here down at the bottom, when you signed up with N-Vu, we gave you over $200 in product coupons. So you'll find those there, and you click on them, and here are your coupon codes for those products. All right. And then over here is your gallery manager. This is where all of your information is going to be events. So this will be all of your events that you have created. And then over here, we have the collections.
So this is really the galleries tab is where I'm going to do a lot of the work to set up my galleries, manage my price list, my discounts, my watermarks. So this is a really important area.
It is. And if you look up here at the top, it has several other titles and rooms that you can go to. So like you're setting up your price list will be in the price list manager. And then the discounts, watermarks, Lightroom, and any presets that you have there.
And we'll talk about presets later, but you might want to make a note to yourself. After you've set up a gallery, if you want to reuse that, the preset's like a template that you can apply, and it really speeds up your setup time.
Yes, absolutely. So up here at the top right is where you're going to, you want me to go to the gallery
No,
manager?
orders. Did
Oh,
you-
the orders.
yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I skipped right over the orders. That's really important. The orders, this gives you access to all of the activity that has gone on within your sales.
Mhm.
So any IPS, galleries, mobile apps, all right here. So when you hit on activity, this gives you an overview of all the orders, and you can actually filter through the different
Order types.
order types.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that you can get to the ones that you're looking for as long as.
Yeah, we've got a really robust set of order management tools. However, some of you may have some additional needs. So we've done integrations with Pixify, as well as 17 Hats. We're not going to talk about that a lot today, but all the information you see here can flow right through to those
Yep.
programs.
And right here too, just so you're aware, we do have the get paid section. So any of your orders that you have placed or received and you want to get paid, we
Mhm.
do that every Friday. So you'll want to make sure you set up that information with some additional resources here for taxes and downloads.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and head on over to the manage account. And here is where you would set up any branding and studio information. We do give you the ability to set up as many brands as you want with the same account, and that will follow through the whole sales process. And then in addition to that, any billing and payment information, this is where you'll manage your plan subscription, and then also any passwords that you have for your account.
Or if you want to change your
If you want to
password.
change it,
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's a great overview. And one thing I'll mention back on that multi-branding, some photographers will use that as a way to do real estate sales.
Mhm.
They'll have maybe 10, 15 real estate agents that they keep the homes up to date. Some people will use that to do a corporation where they'll have it personally branded for them, or maybe a model that
Mhm.
you're working with. So it's a great way to leverage N-Vu to drive some additional revenue, sell a subscription, if you will, to a real estate agent or a model.
Yeah.
So it's a nice feature. So I think where we want to go next is to set up an event.
We're going to get started with setting up our event.
All right. So what you've noticed is what's ever present here is this create button. And in the create, it doesn't matter if you do client gallery or in-person sales session, they go to the same place. What we're going to do is set up the event itself. So as I set this up, the first thing I'm going to do is give the event a name. And we're going to call this Getting Started. Yeah, whoops, sorry. I'm reaching over something. I'm not getting the keyboard very well here. There we are. And you'll notice that when you upload your images, you have two options. You've got the low resolution and the original. I'm going to do an original resolution right now, but as I'm getting the original resolution ready, I want to at least mention a reason you might want to actually use the low resolution option. That low resolution option is a great way to upload very quickly. I think you increase the speed by about 95%, but you can upload the same images later and overwrite the low res. And that's a great thing to do if you're somewhere where you've got a very low bandwidth and you're trying to get things up. You can see here, I've already uploaded all the images and they popped in over here in your images area. And they're have moved in. Now, if you want to add some additional images, you just come in here and I can come back to that same set of images that I was just uploading, and I can go ahead and grab a few more. There's one thing I wanted to show you here, but it just uploaded too fast for me to show you. So let me do this here. I'm going to draw your attention to, I've got a couple of duplicates. This is the feature that I mentioned to you, that if you have an image that's already there and you can choose to either skip it, allow, or replace. I'm going to say skip. I don't know if I chose the same images. No, well, so I only have 8, but if you look here in the bottom right-hand corner, it's showing me that I'm uploading 3 of 8, the percent completion, and the speed. So that is something that's really nice for that. So that's what we've done essentially so far, is we've now uploaded your images to the event. You'll notice on the event dashboard, I've not yet created an in-person sales session, client gallery, or mobile app, but I do have the images all ready to go to set that up.
And Dave, another thing I would like to mention on uploading, if you have pre-categorized images, so whether it's a wedding or maybe a school in sports or dance, and you have separate categories, you can organize those folders previously and just upload those folders, and those will stay in order when you upload your images.
That's a great point, Michelle. And if I draw your attention here to this gray area in the middle where I'm running my cursor, you'll see here it has in-person sales and client gallery. If you did do a pre-categorized upload with multiple folders, we'll ask you if you want to retain those categories, and you would then see those categories show up in this section. Or if you just want to add a category manually, just click on the plus sign and I can add it right here. So I think where we want to go next, now that we've got the images in there, is we're going to set up an in-person sales session. So Michelle, walk us through setting up the IPS session.
Okay. All right. Oh. All right. So here on setup, you just want to click on setup. And here you want to give the event a name. So it'll be your client's first and last name. And you also want to make sure that you enter in an email address, because that email address is attached along the whole client journey. So whether it's an in-person sale onto the client gallery or even mobile apps, and that way you can collect that and attach it to orders and different events. All right. We do have presets, and I'm going to just kind of show you what that looks like, and then we'll talk about it later.
Right.
So here's, like, if you were to do a senior guy, you just collect and you can preview it to make sure that it's all okay.
This is a great time saver. We're not going to do that in this session, but it's a great way to save time.
So we'll skip for now. And here is the presentation workflow. This is our suggested workflow that we've designed for you to make it simple. It's kind of the happy path and what we've learned from photographers and their workflows. You can create your own if you would like by choosing different combinations, but we'll go with the suggested at this time. And now you're going to want to set up your slideshow. If you offer a slideshow, you can use N-Vu's slideshow, or you can upload a link to Animoto, YouTube, or Vimeo.
Right.
So we're going to use our slideshow. And here you have the option to select which images you want to apply to the slideshow. For now, I'm going to hit select all, and you're going to select the images down below. And this leads into the image culling. So this is the image selection, yes, no, maybe, yes, no, 4-star, 5-star. I personally like the yes, no, maybe, or yes, maybe, no. And then the thumbnail view, this is the initial view for your clients right after the slideshow.
Right. So you can always have access to all of the culling views. This is just the first one.
This is just the initial one. Yeah. Yep, absolutely. So I'm going to stick with thumbnail, and I'm going to hit continue. And here is where you just make sure that your shopping cart is on. If you for the IPS session, you would select what price list you want to attach to this particular session. And here you can turn pricing on or off. I'm going to leave it on for now, and we'll show you some features later in the sale that you can manage that. Fulfillment is always going to be manual, and you can adjust your shipping if you want. And we're going to make sure that cropping's turned on for the session, so that way we can showcase the cropping and for all the different print sizes.
Yeah. And it's always important to have that on for room view. For
room view, absolutely. All right. And Dave, I'll let you talk about real view. Yeah.
So in addition to room view, where you can display your images true to size on a photograph of a room, what real view will do is it will allow you to show or project the products in actual size on whatever screen you're using. Now, a lot of people use this for projection sales in the past, but this will work just as simply on a large 70-inch monitor that you have. So what you would do if you wanted to do this is you say, I'm going to calibrate this new location right here, and I would just measure that line enter the length of that line right here. And once I've done that, then I have calibrated it so you're going to show products in the actual size that they are, either projecting onto a wall or on a large screen TV.
That's right. And we do give you a little notice if for some reason you're projecting on a TV and your client is wanting to see a size that's larger than your television, then we let you know that has happened.
Yeah.
All right. So now we are into the different settings for your in-person sales session. So you can go in and customize that. And we'll click on welcome screen. You have the opportunity to design that to fit your needs. So it looks like here we have an image in our full screen version. And if you wanted to, you could go in and set the focal point of that image. And you can also go in and change the image that you would like to showcase. So we have different style views, and this is important for you to see because, when you want your client to come in and feel, excited and see this large, beautiful image on the wall, you want it to be displayed just how you want it. So you can do framed image. You can also do a split screen. Mosaic. And this is kind of fun because it'll pull up the image that you click on, and then the middle takes it back. That's really fun for seniors. And then you can do the image or the no image, single image, title. But I like the full screen. And so you can also change the alignment. So right now you see that it's in the middle, the getting started November title. So you can move it to the top. You can also move it to the bottom, and then you can put it to the right or to the left. I hope that helps. And you can also add additional images to the welcome screen. So I'm going to make sure that I select that and it saves.
So if I do additional images, it's almost like a slideshow.
It's almost like a slideshow for the welcome screen. So it's not just one image.
Right.
And you can also, add a second title line if you would like. You can change the font. We have lots of different fonts to change if you would like. So there's some options there. All right. And then you can also add music to the home screen slide. Some people choose to do so. Some people don't. That's a preference, but you do have that option. And then if you look here, we have the N-Vu logo with the name also. So it's kind of redundant. So if you want, you can turn the hide the studio name off and it just leaves the logo up there, which is kind of hard to see there. And then you want to hit save. I know we're running through it quickly, but we just want to make sure you are aware of where to find things and what those titles mean. All right. And you can go in and customize the slideshow. If you'd like, you can change the transition.
There's several different transition types.
The different types and the time per image. And you can also select music. So if you know you have a long slideshow and one song is not going to make it through it, then you can do like a playlist for seniors, family weddings. And then this is really important. Dave, I'll let you talk about the fill screen, fit to screen.
Yeah. So right now we've got the fit to screen, and you'll see in the fit to screen, the entire image is going to be fit into the size of the screen. If you do fill screen, it's going to take that image and center crop it to fit it in. But what happens on an image like this is you're going to have part of it cropped out. So we do not recommend fill screen unless you have a lot of horizontal kind of landscaped images that are centered well. It's best just to do fit to screen. So if you ever have your slideshow cutting off, that's something to remember.
Yep.
You can also kind of move your images, as you can see along the bottom, if you want to change the order of the sequence.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So we're going to move on to the next setting. And we've already gone through culling.
Let's do culling because we do have a new feature here around photographer favorite folder. So why don't you talk about that?
Okay, that's really important. So We have, what we've noticed is during the IPS session, photographers are trying to juggle with pieces of paper and trying to multitask. Dave says it's not possible, but I think it is. But, trying to keep the sale organized and what their clients are wanting, especially if they're not married to a package at this point. So what's been really nice is you can create favorite folders, and those folders can be some of the titles and like gift sizes and album. If you know most of your clients are going to order an album and they're going to order some wall art, you can go ahead and set those folders up, because that will allow us to organize the sale and the images so that it will save you some time and
And this
in
should
the
be
future.
and this should be a preset as well.
Yep.
So, and this will also work on the client galleries. That way your clients don't have to set them up.
Yeah. So you'll see where those are located here in a few minutes when we actually do the sale. So we're going to move on here and talk about room view really quick. So you want to make sure that you have room view toggled on if that's a feature you want to utilize. We do have stock rooms available. So if you're new to N-Vu and you're getting started, you want to make sure those stock rooms that we have are toggled on. And here's where you would upload any of your own rooms.
Yeah. What if I have a customer who wants to add their rooms? Is there a simple way to do that?
Yes. We do have a really, really, really cool feature within Room View, and it's called Room View Direct. And so when you click on that, you can simply text your client the information. So what it will send was
they'll get a link.
Yeah, they'll get
and
a
within
link.
that link, they'll click on it. It will then pop up a browser on their phone or their iPad, and then they tap on it. It will activate the camera. They take a picture, it gives them instructions. They say upload, and it uploads directly to the gallery.
Yes.
So this is a super simple way to get your client images in there. I would encourage you to go into your IPS guest rooms or client gallery guest rooms and try this for yourself. Send yourself a text message and get a feel. And remember, the room will be tied to their email address.
Yeah, and that's what I mentioned before. So you want to make sure that the email stays consistent with their account of what we entered just a few minutes ago. But the very simple instructions, very easy to use. It's less hassle for your client, so it's been very beneficial. That's one of our new features we have. So we will move on. All right. And once they upload that, you will see their room and it will show up here under event rooms, correct?
It actually shows up. The event rooms would be rooms that you want as a photographer to upload just for that event.
Gotcha.
If you go back to room view, if a client uses that direct to room view option, it'll show up
right below.
There.
Yep. Okay. Thanks for the clarification. All right. So selling, we've talked about theming. We won't go too far in here. This just gives you the option to customize the look and the feel of your event. So if you have a senior guy or a senior girl or a wedding, or maybe your brand colors, you can stay pretty solid with that here. And there's a little question mark by each of these options that tell you where those colors will be showing up at. There we go.
Okay.
All right. And branding information, you can select what brand you want to use within this sale. And then image display.
Yeah, something we added during the pandemic was the ability to watermark images. We never thought people with IPS would want to do that, but as I'm going to show you in a moment, we've got some great features where you can do in-person sales remotely. And we did add a watermark feature to help protect your images. Do we have any questions?
Yeah, we do. One of them is, will the slideshow show on phones, on mobile?
Well, the in-person sales is designed to work on tablet size and larger. So on tablet size and larger, the answer is yes. But if you try to use in-person sales on a smartphone, it will not work. The client gallery will, but that we found with in-person sales, there's so much going on. We just have not been able to fit everything into that small area and still do the images good justice.
Yeah, we do have a question from Deborah. When you want to delete from the thumbnail, is there a way to see the number image, which image it is? That's something that she's had difficulty with here.
So is that like the file name, or and she just to be clear, is Deborah deleting the image from the gallery or from the from images that I have up on the screen? If you could let us know there, Deborah, we'll come back to that question. I want to make sure that we're answering your question in the right way, or perhaps there's a way we can improve our platform, and if so, we want to hear from you.
Absolutely. All right, so we have set up the IPS session, and we are now ready to begin the sale.
All right, so I'm going to walk you through an in-person sales session, and right here, if you wanted to add a new client, you could do that. Remember, all the choices that I'm going to show you here during this session are going to be tied to this email address because that's the client that I've chosen. So I'm going to go ahead and do dual view. So we'll have two screens instead of one. And I'm going to have these side by side. And we'll go ahead and open the photographer screen. And let me see if I can get this all set up here. There we go. I'm going to move this over to the side. And I'll show these side by side. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the customer screen. And I'll pull this out and run this over here.
And
I did the same one.
Yeah. Did you mention why they single view versus dual view?
No, go ahead if you're talking about that for a moment.
Yeah. So when you get to that spot, whether you're making a choice with single view versus dual view, the single view is typically used when you are sitting side by side with your client on the same device. And the dual view is best used in a studio where you're projecting one link onto a projector or a TV, and it keeps the client focused on just the beautiful images that you're showcasing. And that way, all of the work on the back end and controls are all on the photographer side. And then in addition to that, we give you the ability to remote sales. So.
Okay. Now here on the client side, I'm not going to go into full screen. When you do that, all the browser Chrome and the browser buttons go away, so they focus just on the image. So I'm going to cancel out of that. You'll notice on the photographer side, you have these two menu buttons that I'm moving around. We call this affectionately the Hamburger Menu with those three lines. That will allow you to navigate through the in-person sales session itself. I just want to draw your attention. You've got keyboard shortcuts here that mirror what you have in the Adobe products. So that's a great way to use that. And then you have a dual view button here where you can manage dual view. I'm not going to go into this much right now, but I do want to draw your attention to the fact that we've added to our Platinum plan, our free print plan, and our no commission plan, you now have live view that's available, which is a video. So if I did that, I could come in here, join this with audio, and I think that is going to work. If I did this, it would actually show my video right. Oh, there we are, right there. So that's a new feature that you've got within Dual View, and we added that during the pandemic as a way for people to do remote sales and do everything in one single application. So that comes as just part of those packages. There's no extra fee for that if you use that in the Platinum plan, the free print plan, or the no commission plan. So I'm on the welcome screen. If I just interact with this screen and click on it, it's going to roll me right forward to the slideshow. And then I'm going to move through the slideshow. And the next thing is going to be the tolling view. And remember, the initial tolling view that was chosen was going to be the Mosaic view. But you have down here all of these options right here. So if I wanted to move over to a single screen, I could do that. So the first thing you're going to do, most likely, is you're going to toll the images. And I'm going to show you a two-step process And we've got a brand new video that's being worked on that will show you this. Watch for it because it's going to be available here pretty soon. Jeff Loeffler, who's one of the employees here at N-Vu and H&H, is doing a great job of adding some videos, and watch for that culling view. But right now, the first part of the culling is you're going to choose the ratings. And the second part is you're going to actually put those into some of your folders. So I'm going to go ahead and just choose a few of these images here real quickly. And I'm doing them one by one. But I can also use the multi-select. So if I click this multi-select, I can then take a host of these images and put those in at the same time. I'll make those maybes. I'm going to go ahead and put in a couple more. And I'll put those in as yeses. So I've been building that filter in real time, and you can see I've got 19 images right now that I've not yet rated. I have 6 that are yes, 4 that are maybe, and 1 that is a no. So if I wanted to rate the rest of those, I could come over here, and these are my unrated images, and I can go ahead and let me get the right filter. I'm going to get rid of my, actually I could do my maybes and my not rateds and just go through one by one. And as I rate these, they're going to drop out of this, because if I rated that a yes, it's no longer in that filter because a yes is not rated as I build that out. So I'm going to go ahead and put a few more yeses in here so we can show you the next phase of this. So let me just go ahead and make some of these yeses so we've got enough in there. And now that I have some of those rated, I'm going to drop over to this full view, and I'm going to apply a filter just for my yeses. So now I've only put through the yeses, of which I've got 15 of them right now. So I have 15 in here. Now I'm going to put some of these into some of my favorite folders, and I'm going to use the multi-select to do that. So if I choose this option right here, and heart those, I can then put all of those in the wall decor at the same time. And then I can jump over here for my all images and look at my wall decor images. There they are. I can select all of them. And from there, I can go right to the chart and put in a wall collection with all 3 of them. And boom, all 3 of them are right there. So you can see it's really simple and fast. So just to kind of review what I did, I went through first and I rated the images. Second, I filtered those rated images by my favorites and put them in the favorite folders. And then I can kind of create that. Now I'm going to move on to room view, and got those in there. I can go ahead and add a frame, and notice I can apply this to all. And when I apply that to all, even if I change the frame and the mat size, you'll notice that I'm keeping the distance between those images. So we maintain that. Now that may not work here, so I can ungroup those and I can kind of drop those in. That's a little bit big. So I'm going to go ahead and change that image. Whoops, I didn't mean to change the image. I'm going to change the size.
It's in a collection.
Oh, I'm in a collection, so I
So
can't
you would
change.
change the room.
So I would change the room to do that. But in the collection, I fixed that particular size. We've done that, and that's an important note. When you're setting up a collection itself, photographers have told us they don't want people messing with their collection.
Yeah.
So we keep them. Now, the other thing I want to show you is you got notes. So on this, I can then put notes at the image level, the item level, or the order level. So I'll put in here, move hair, and the item note may be the black 3-inch frame. And now that I put those in there, they're going to follow me through. So I'm going to go ahead and add that to the chart. And then in the shopping cart, you can see that there's my image note right there. Now you saw that the client doesn't have it because right now you'll see that we are hiding their administrative controls. If I turn that on, they would see it. I'm going to go backwards because I want to show you. And by the way, they're seeing this right here. So let me turn that off so they can focus. There. So now I've got that. And we don't want pricing either. We just want them to see the file names. So I'm going to go ahead and build one from scratch real quickly. And I've got this in here. I'm going to frame it. But while they're doing that, we want to sell them some more. So we're going to show you something we call private view. So I'm in public view right now. I'm going to go private. What that will allow you as a photographer to do is you can then build out a collection right here in real time. No, that's not very good size. I can build out this collection in real time, but you'll notice that the photographer is not seeing that, or the client is not seeing that. So I'll add one more size.
20 by 30.
20 by 30. Thank you for reminding me. Where's that at? There it is. And now as I built this out, now that I'm ready to show them, let me just move these around. Michelle's dying right now. I am not a designer. So this is the part where you have enter the laugh track. But the point I want to make is right here, you see it says push screen. So as soon as I click this, I'm going to push that, and now the client can see it. So that's a great feature. And Michelle, one of your other favorite features is a share feature. Do you want to talk about that real quickly?
Sure, absolutely. So let's just say you push that collection over to your client and the decision maker was not present during the sale, and they say, you know what, my husband's not here. I can't really make that purchase without, him seeing it and okaying that additional cost that we did not expect. You can simply say, you know what, let's go ahead and send that to him right now so he can take a look and see what we've designed.
Great.
So you can simply enter in the text message or the text phone number, and it'll send right to them, and they can say yes or no. And right there, you've upsold.
And what they get is essentially this, the room. The room with the images right there.
So you should try it on yourself just so you can see what that looks like. And it does market your studio as well with the name. Your studio name will show up in that text message.
Okay. We're not going to go into this now, but you can also save that for later. But we're going to go ahead. And now we've got another item in the shopping cart. By the way, you notice that they don't see it right now because I have the ordering controls off. So what we're going to do is while they're looking at that image, we've noticed that in this sale, where they've sold a $4,000 trio collection and a $300, whoops, our prices are very different there.
They are different.
We'll excuse that for a moment. But my point is you can do some adjustments. So let's just say that you need to make a change right there in real time, and you want to give them a discount for doing a large order. So you put a package discount, and I can either do a flat rate or a percent discount. I'm just going to give them a flat rate discount here of $200 on that item. And now you can see right here, I get that $200 discount comes right in. I can do multiple adjustments, and the adjustments flow through. Are we doing any questions? Or?
Yeah, we do have one before we check out in of the order. There was a question about where to find the filter in the sales presentation.
Well, let me just go back here because we've got this chart ready to go. So if I come back here to do that, we're going to...
it's up that it's not showing. There it is.
So the filters are right here. So the first filter is where you filter on your ratings.
Can you pull that over because it's hard to see the favorites down there?
Yeah. Hold on just a
Yeah,
second.
so those filters and favorites folders you're going to find at the bottom of your sales screen.
Right. And then I can also use my favorite folders here, and they work in tandem on that. So there's nothing in that, so I don't have any. I can go back to the wall to see that. I can also clear those folders and just go back to all images. Okay. Hope that helps. Those do work in tandem. So if you've got both of them working, sometimes if you're all of a sudden you're startled a moment and you don't think you're seeing what you should, just take a deep breath, come over here and see what filters are actually applied to make sure that you've got the right filters done. Sometimes you may have multiple filters at the same time.
Correct.
All right. If there's no other questions, I mean, jump back to the chart.
Yep.
We good?
Yep.
Okay. So in this chart, you notice that they still can't see over here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on their ordering controls, but I have not turned on their pricing. So they're now going to see the same thing that I see, except I don't see the prices.
Mm-hmm.
We've set this up so you can reveal your prices whenever you want or not at all.
Mm-hmm.
If I wanted to reveal the prices at this point, I would just come in there, reveal pricing, and then they're going to be able to see the prices at that point. So we're continuing through the chart. They've got their information pre-filled because we already had it put in for them. I can either use my personal in-person payment if they're going to pay you by check or you have your own Square account, or I can use a credit card from us. But I'm going to go ahead and say they pay me by check, the old-fashioned way. Put their check number in there.
And it is important to go ahead and check out of the cart, choosing one or the other, because it records all of that information that you just gathered.
Yeah, and we're going to show that here in just a moment. So that's a really good point.
We do have a question. Does the photographer see both screens too? The one is client, the one client is viewing.
Yeah, you do not. You see your screen right here, but you would not see the client. Now, if you are in studio, because another way that this dual view is often used is you may have the photographer screen on your laptop, and you may be using that laptop to drive the big screen in your sales studio where they're watching on a 70-inch screen.
Correct.
And of course, in that case, you could, but if they're remote, then you do not. Now, what we did build in is in dual view, we give you this information here where it says the client view is connected. So if they disconnect for some reason, you have visibility to that.
Yeah. And you're seeing the two screens here just for display purposes and education. So normally you wouldn't see them side by side like that.
Yeah. Just to finish up here on the receipt, and we're going to go to the order area in a moment, you can print that receipt or email that receipt, and it would show all that right there, including the crops. So everything's right there for them. So I'm going to go ahead and browse more photos. I'm just going to back out of the dual view. And I'm going to go ahead and close this side right now. We're going to leave this part of the presentation behind. And what I want to show you is that order is sitting right here. So these orders are in real time. You can see these are the times that I kind of came in and out there at the beginning. This, by the way, the statistics are really good for senior photographers. I say that because the kids know technology and they may try stuff, and you can actually see all the times they went in, what browser they went in, if they downloaded files, whatever they did, all that information is there. But the point I wanted to bring up right here for you is to show you that I can go directly to that order that I just placed. And here's all my order information right here. So remember when I said black frame, remove hair, etc. So on this remove hair, I'm going to remove that image, right? Or replace the image. So I can use this replace image feature and I can see all the items that are associated with that particular image. There's 2 of them in this event. And that will help me know if I'm going to replace that, what lab products, if I fulfill, are actually going to be affected. I can do it this item only, all items in the order, or all items for the event. I'm going to do all items in the event. And then I also have the option to replace that image in the event itself. So if I retouch that image, now the gallery itself, whether it's being used for IPS, client gallery, or mobile app, we have now updated that image across all those if I click this one to replace that image. So this is all of that information. You can use that. Now, something that's really important, maybe Michelle, I don't know if you want to walk through this, but there's some more that you can do here. One is we're going to show you how to use the order statuses, but most importantly, we want to show you how to fulfill with N-Vu.
That's right. So once you have that order open, we give you the ability to change the status at the items level, at the whole order level, and you can create your own status. So here you see we have some that are pre-made or that we've built out along the way, but you can edit a status or add a new one. And when you add a new one, you want to make sure that it's toggled on. So that it can
you
be.
want to toggle it on if it's something that you want to filter by later for something that needs action.
Exactly. So I'm going to hit save on there. And so once you've replaced your images and you've retouched and you've changed your status, you can go ahead and go up. Yep.
Let's update the status.
Yep.
And apply it to all. Just
let's say final
retouching.
retouching.
And then apply to all. And what I want to take a moment before you do the fulfill with N-Vu, I want to show how the sort function works.
Oh, yeah.
Or do you want to do
Nope,
that?
that's fine.
Okay. So now that I've set this so they're all at retouching, I can come over here to my activity area. And if I come in the day I want to know what work is available for me, I just come in here under the order status. I say show only orders that require action. And you set that to retouching right here. And there's the order right there. Yeah. So it's a really simple way to keep track of all your work.
Yeah, one of the things that we've noticed again with the all of the paper and folders following the client through the whole workflow process. If you have, whether it's yourself or you have someone working in the studio and they have certain tasks that need to get done throughout each day, they can simply come in here, sit down, open it up, look at all the orders requiring action for retouching, and it'll pull all those up, and then they can change the status into send on to the lab.
Great. So fulfill with N-Vu?
Yeah. So everything's done. The next step is sending to the lab. So you can hit fulfill through N-Vu, and you can select each individual item that you want to order through N-Vu. Now there may be some specialty products that you get from another lab or directly from H&H, so you can leave those off. But here we'll select all of them, and we'll go ahead and submit that to the lab. So here you can ship to the customer directly, or you could choose to ship to an alternate address or the studio. So in this case, we'll go ahead and ship it to the customer, hit next. If you have account credit, you can apply that, or you can use a credit card on file, hit submit, and it's now done into the lab, and you can then change your status to sent to lab.
Okay, and just one last thing before we leave this screen is you do have two statuses. You'll notice right here on across the top bar is that you've got a lab status right here and a studio status right here. The lab status only works if you're fulfilling through N-Vu.
Yep.
And then what we'll do is we know what the status is and we put it in.
Mm-hmm.
The studio status is whatever you choose to make it.
Yeah. Custom products.
Right. All right. So we're going to move on from IPS. And here's the Getting Started November webinar. We're going to come back in. And now that we've done all of our work, we're going to go ahead and set up a client gallery.
Dave, before you do that, there was one thing that we didn't mention that is something simple and saves you a little bit of time. It's going to be under images. And when you look under images, you have the email address that is applied to the client that you just did the sale with. And so when you click on that under favorites, ratings, and orders, it showcases that we just did the in-person sale with that client. And when you open that up, it gives all the folders with the rated images and the favorite images, and then all the items that they purchased. So if you open up the order number and you know that they ordered these 3 images, you can simply hit select all 3 and hit the download button. And this gives you the option to download the images or download the file names. And if you hit download file names, you can copy this to Lightroom or to another color management software to locate those images for you. So it saves a little bit of time doing that.
Absolutely. Thank you for putting that in there, Michelle. So on your client gallery, since you've already made choices, we're going to let you set up your new client gallery with those client choices. So we're going to choose all the yeses and the maybes. We're not going to do the no's. We're also going to include the favorite folders and the purchased images, and we're going to put that and put your faves. And we are going to hide all of the images category. So what we've done here is we've set that up so that Only a subset of those images are going to be in their client gallery. Now we're going to give you a chance to review that. And you can see right here, you've got 30 images, 18 of them are in your faves, 12 are uncategorized. The uncategorized are going to be hidden. So I'm just going to look in those 12 real quickly. And there may be one, this one right here. I really like that as a photographer. And even though the client didn't choose it, I'm going to go ahead and just drag that right in there. And now you see I've got 19 instead of 18 images and just 11 uncategorized. So it's a great way to kind of filter out what images they have. We're not going to do presets right now, but I'm going to skip that. And this is where I can set up my client gallery. It's not boudoir. I don't need a password. I do want a watermark, so I'm going to go ahead and choose my watermark on this one. And we're not going to spend time on the client access page today. That's something you may want to talk to us about if you do want to post all of your galleries publicly.
Perfect.
So this is where you set up your price list that you're going to choose for this, and this is a senior. I'm going to set this up for auto fulfillment, shipped directly to the customer. I'm going to set my expiration in 2 months, and I'm going to go ahead and put a review on at the anniversary date just to pick up a little bit more profit from that sale. So that is that. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. We've got a lot of. I know we're starting to get close on our time here, but I do want to show you that. But I do want to jump into presets. So on presets, right here you have a gallery and a theme preset for your client gallery and your IPS gallery. And you'll notice that I'm going to come in here and edit this getting started preset. And you'll see here that this mimics exactly what I saw in the client editor. And if I want something included in a preset, I simply click the button. So I want to show you over here on culling something Michelle talked about earlier. I'm going to, actually, I don't want that one. I don't think I've got it set up for this right now. So I'm just going to hold on that. But let me just go back to digital downloads. If I turn that on, I can go ahead in my digital downloads. I'm going to include just a RepRes download, and I'm going to set that it's available with a pin. And I'm going to have a limit of 3 files. So this senior can come in and get any 3 files because of the package that they bought. But my point is, this is where you are able to set that up to save that. Okay. All right, let me just back out of here. So that's your presets. Michelle, I think we in our closing minutes, we wanted to look at the price list. So I'm going to jump over to the price list and let you kind of run with the price list for a moment.
Sure. Sounds good. We have one question before we get started with the price list. Valerie is asking, does N-Vu allow the client to extend the gallery?
We do. And that is something, let me just kind of, I probably should have gone back and stayed in there. I'll just kind of show you where this is at real quickly. If you don't want them to extend the gallery, I'll show you how to turn that off. That's in Access and Security. So I'm coming over here on the Client Gallery under Access and Security. Right here it says Guest and Sharing Options. Allow guests to extend gallery. If that is on, we will charge your guest $9.99, and that is something that N-Vu keeps. So if you don't want to do that, you would just toggle that to off.
Correct.
Okay. So let's jump over to the price list. And Michelle, tell us a little bit about overview of the price list manager.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have several different sections here. We do have suggested price list. These are N-Vu suggested senior, portrait, wedding. So you can have a starting point or just make some adjustments on those and save it and rename it to your own. But up here at the top, you'll see we have custom products. And so any kind of custom products that you build out, that's where you would begin there, and you can add those to a price list. And I'll show you that here in just a moment. All right. So here are all the prints. To add an individual print, you would just simply click here and you would add your either N-Vu product, something that you'd be receiving from N-Vu, or you can add a custom product. I'm actually going to go ahead and click on the custom product. So this allows you to click and choose, or you could create a new one. So I'll show you how to create that. And then that will add. So here, let me go ahead and add an N-Vu product just so they can see what that looks like. So here are all your product sizes. So we'll go ahead and add a large print. So let's just do any size is fine. Add right here. And this will then allow you to choose what type of finish or mounting. So you would do that there. My size. Finish. And once you're done, it's now right there. And you can move these around anywhere you want to.
And as you move those around, that would affect the order that the client sees them on the client
So it
gallery.
would be what you want your client to see in order. And then you can also select what's the most popular,
which will be at the top.
which would be at the very top of the shop, the store. So here we're going to slide down. We give you several different categories. So for your metals, for your prints, the digital downloads here. So if you wanted to add, you can, the gallery wraps. But what I want to show you is how to add a package in a wall collection. So first we're going to add a package. And just so you understand, when you go to add products, you want to make sure that you have individual print sizes listed already in the print section, whether it's metals or the gallery wraps or the regular prints, because otherwise it's not going to show up here for you to bundle together. So we're going to offer one 16 by 20. We'll do a couple 5 by 7s, a couple 8 by 10s. I want to move quickly on this. So now that that's on there, you can now add additional products. So maybe they get 2 high resolution images. So now you have that all built out. And if you look, it gives you the summary of what you've just built, and hit next step. You could give it a name. And it summarizes for you, but you can adjust that. So that makes it nice. You could put a price. I'm making up prices here. And then also we allow you to set the image limit. So maybe it's they get 2 poses for that. So we'll just put 2 there and hit finish.
Yeah, and just real quickly, the multi-pose, some photographers charge higher rates for a package with 3 poses versus 2, etc.
That is correct.
That's what that does.
All right, so that is your package, and then we'll just touch base on wall collections. So you can add prints, metals, and gallery wraps to your wall collection. So I'm going to do gallery wraps, and I'm going to select my sizes. I'm going to do 3 of these. And it builds out all the items and the cost. So there you have it.
And this tool right here has a lot of features to help you design what it's going to look like when they open it up in the client gallery.
Exactly. And yes, and in room view, how it is displayed. So you can hit finish, and you'd put a price on it, obviously. So now that that's built out, it shows up down here underneath wall collections, wherever my wall collections are. There it is, right here.
All right. One other thing as we get ready to wrap up on the price list that is important to understand is custom products. These custom products, there's 2 ways to build them. One is a very simple way with a custom product right here where you can, maybe we're going to sell a 20 by 20 acrylic. And, oops.
And you want to make sure that you add the dimensions, because we have had a few that have failed to do so on the dimensions, and it will not show up in room view.
Um, and then I can go ahead and assign this to the acrylic category. Room view is enabled. You can create your categories here too if you want to create a new category. So that's one way to create it. You can also do it with Pro Custom products, which we're not going to go into today. That's more of a form builder. It's a much more robust way to add them. But here's a key point I wanted to make. And if you got a pencil, please write this down. Oh, not sure how that happened.
Well, that's our help button right there. That'll take you wherever you want to go.
So this custom products is like an inventory of products that you can use on your price list. So if you're trying to get some products that are not auto-fulfilled through N-Vu or H&H, then you'll want to fill out these custom products. And then once you do that, then they become available in the price list. It's
That's
a very
right.
important point.
Yeah. So you can add any kind of products you want and create as many price lists as you want. And I think, Dave, if you want to just go to an album, just to show them what the Pro Custom form builder looks like.
So you can create your own questions and gather all this information right here. Select an item, the size of it. So here we're using this for a set of medium-sized press printed products.
Yep, absolutely.
All right. Are there any questions right now?
It doesn't look like that. We did have someone ask if, what browser is best to use, if it was Chrome or Safari or Firefox.
I would recommend Chrome.
Yeah,
Chrome
and that's what I mentioned. Okay. And so even just to verify, when you select an event to be part of the review, whether it's a custom or part of the N-Vu's review program, will the client be allowed to extend the event further, even if you have that toggled off or toggle on? Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't, because I'm sorry, I was doing something else. So one more time, please.
Yeah. So if you have the extended event toggled on and they are part of review, will they still be able to extend the event?
No, when review is on, we block that.
Okay. Yeah. So Valerie, it is off during the review promotion.
All right.
All right. If you do have additional questions, you can either unmute or go ahead and put those in the chat window, and we're going to just kind of summarize really quick.
All right. So I think, hold on the summary. Do you have another question?
Yeah, they want us to explain what review is.
Can you do that for a moment?
Yeah, we did. So review is a program that we have available for you. Dave talked about the different ways to sell this one image, and that is with review. So we allow you to do a custom review, and you can also set the date to renew on the anniversary. Or N-Vu does a review program during the spring and in the fall, during times where people are looking for reasons to purchase, like Mother's Day, Father's Day, graduation, and in the fall for holidays. So we're getting ready to have one of those set up, and we'll have a live demo with that next Wednesday, in fact.
Right.
So keep a lookout for that.
Great. And are there any other questions we have right now? There was a lot that we went through, and there's a lot more that we would like to go through, but we're also trying to keep this somewhat limited. Remember that we do have live phone support, so our team is always available and ready to help you out. If you look within the admin area in the lower left-hand corner, you've got that little support window where we've got a lot of articles and videos. Look at those. We are here to help you be successful. We want you to be successful. And we know that we went through a lot of stuff today very quickly. So please stay in touch. And the feedback that you give us is what drives our our development portfolio to make this product better.
And
We
our
do listen.
education.
And the education
Mhm.
as well. Yeah.
Yep.
And speaking of education, do you want to talk about your N-Vu space as we close?
Yeah, we do have a private Facebook group called Your N-Vu Space. So if you are not already a member, please go and ask to join. There's some great information on education, upcoming events, new features. Also, there's other peers in there that you could learn from.
Yeah, and learn not only about our platform, but also about how they're doing business and how they're making big
Yeah, the
sales.
industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do that if you haven't. Hey, thank you so much for trusting N-Vu to work with you, and we really look forward to building out this richer platform in the months and years to come.
Yes.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Take care.